You've heard of mermaids, gentle, beautiful, singing in the waves. But deep beneath the Arctic ice, there is a different kind of sea goddess, one who doesn't sing but screams. They say when the wind howls over the frozen tundra and the sea cracks open, that's her voice. The voice of Sedna, the woman who was betrayed, drowned, and rose again as the goddess who rules the ocean's depths. Long ago, when the world was young and the air burned cold enough to freeze breath into snowflakes, a hunter and his daughter lived in a small village by the edge of the ice. The daughter's name was Sedna, and she was the most beautiful woman in all the north. Her hair was black as raven feathers, her eyes as dark as the depths of the sea. Men came from every direction, hunters, traders, even shamans, offering gifts, songs, and promises of warmth. But Sedna refused them all. "I will marry no man," she said, "unless he can give me more than hunger and wind." Her father grew old and worried. "Daughter, one day I will die, and who will care for you then?" Sedna just smiled. "I'll care for myself." But fate had other plans. One day, a stranger came to their camp. His face was hidden beneath a great hood of feathers, and his voice was soft, almost musical. "I can give you warmth," he said. "I can give you a life of comfort, no hunger, no cold. My island is filled with meat and furs and fire." His eyes gleamed beneath the hood. Sedna hesitated. His words felt strange, but her father's eyes were pleading. And so she agreed. The stranger smiled, his teeth glinting like the edge of a knife. He lifted Sedna into his kayak and paddled away farther and farther until the land disappeared behind a curtain of fog. When the fog cleared, she saw it. Not an island, but a barren rock surrounded by shrieking birds. And the stranger was no man. He threw back his hood and exploded into a storm of feathers and claws. A bird spirit, a great black raven. His home was nothing but bones, fish guts, and wind. Sedna screamed, but her voice vanished into the sky. The raven laughed. "You are my wife now. You'll never leave." Days turned into weeks. She ate scraps of raw fish while the wind howled through the cliffs. Every night, the raven would flap away, and every morning he returned with dead things from the sea. Sedna cried for her father. Far away, her father felt something in his heart, a weight, a guilt. He dreamed of Sedna crying, and he woke trembling. The next morning he set out in his kayak to find her. He paddled for days, guided only by the cries of seabirds. When he reached the island, he found his daughter, thin, pale, her hair tangled, her eyes hollow. "Father," she whispered, "please, take me home." Without a word, he helped her into the kayak. They paddled away, the wind biting their faces. Sedna looked back once, and saw the raven rise from the cliffs, his eyes burning with rage. He screamed into the sky, and the air turned black with storm clouds. The sea began to boil. Waves the size of mountains rose around them. The wind screamed so loudly it sounded like the earth itself was tearing apart. The father gripped his paddle, terrified. "He'll kill us," he shouted. "He'll drown us both." Then, in his fear, he did something unforgivable. He turned to his daughter and threw her into the sea. Sedna screamed as the icy water swallowed her. She reached for the kayak, her fingers clawing at the edge. "Father, please." But he struck her hands with his paddle. Once, twice, again. Her fingers broke, and as they sank beneath the waves, each one transformed into a seal, a walrus, a whale. Her pain gave birth to the creatures of the sea. Sedna sank deeper, her black hair spreading like ink through the water, her eyes open wide with fury and heartbreak. The storm calmed, but she did not die. They say Sedna still lives beneath the Arctic ice, in a palace of bone and coral. Her hair floats through the water like dark seaweed, tangled with the souls of the creatures she created. When hunters take too much, or when people forget to thank the sea for its gifts, Sedna's anger grows. She clutches the animals in her long fingers, refusing to release them. The hunters return empty-handed. Hunger spreads across the land. Only the shamans dare to go to her, in trance, through the dark waters. They swim down to the depths where Sedna waits, weeping in silence. They comb her hair gently, untangling the knots, whispering prayers, apologizing for the greed of humankind. And if Sedna's heart softens, she lets the animals go once more. Seals rise, whales breach, and life returns to the people. But her story doesn't fade. On nights when the aurora ripples across the sky, the Inuit say those are Sedna's fingers, reaching up through the waves, painting the heavens with light. Her voice rides the wind, half sorrow, half warning. And if you ever stand alone on the edge of the frozen sea and hear a low hum beneath the ice, remember her. Remember the woman who was betrayed, who sank into the darkness and became the goddess who holds life and death in her hands. Sedna, the mother of the deep, the queen beneath the ice, the goddess of the sea.